Hey guys, it's RX here and welcome back to my channel. We are back with yet another Switch review, and today we'll be taking a look and listen at the Matcha Latte Switches by Invokeys. Now, this is my first time trying out switches from Invokeys, and I have heard some good things about this linear switches as it has a long pole stem, and as you know, long pole stem gives that faster and more of a solid bottom out. These are also have a pretty decent bottom out force coming in at 62 grams, and they say that it comes in pre-factory lube and it's hand lubricated. So let's see how consistent it is out of the box. Also, they only offer this in packs of 70, 90, and 110. Now, I don't know why, but we have so many switches named after matchas. Like, do you all like matchas? Personally, I only like drinking them hot and not a fan of cold matcha drinks. But anyways, going back to the video, the switches was sent for a review by Invokeys, but I wasn't paid to make the video and Invokeys didn't see the final script. So of course, I give you guys an unbiased and honest opinion about their matcha latte switches. So in today's video, it's going to be the usual, but there will be no stock versus lube comparison, as again, it already has a pre-factory lube. So a Soundtest comparison versus other linear switches, and a short material breakdown. If you all want to hear my thoughts and opinion about the switch, please do stick around at the end of the Soundtest. And speaking of Soundtest, let's do a quick disclaimer before we start. That the sound and experience will vary depending on your keyboard build, meaning to say that it will sound and feel different on your board. We of course be using our Vega 65 with a PCB to plate foam and one case foam. The switches was pre-factory lube, keycaps that was used was a GMK set, and there was no post edits for the sound. So with all of that out of the way, please do enjoy the sound test for the Invokeys Matcha Latte. So that was the sound test on the Matcha Latte switches. Please let me know on what you think about them on my comment section down below, and let's have some discussions. Before we talk about my own thoughts and opinion, you already know what's next. Let's quickly break down the materials that was used on the switch. As you can see, this is a 5-pin switch and is using an MX style housing. So we have polycarbonate for the top housing, nylon on the bottom housing, and of course a long pole palm stem. Lastly, a springs that comes in 15 millimeters. And that was a material breakdown on the Matcha Latte, and if you made it up to this point of the video, I would like to say thank you for staying and reminding you again that the sound and experience will vary depending on your keyboard build. Finally, let's now talk about my thoughts on the feel. First would be the pre-factory lube. You know that I'm not really a fan of pre-factory lube switches, as it tends to be hit or miss. It's really inconsistent, and honestly, I was impressed on how consistent it was on the switches. They claimed that the stems was lubricated by hand, and seeing that it has a good amount on the stems and even on the springs and even on the leaf, it's really good stuff. I expected less but was given more. So it's my first time trying out the switch from Affleon, and I'm surprised how decent they are. You'll find it a bit light at first, but once you get used to it, you can really appreciate that solid bottom out feel when typing. But I did notice a little bit of scratches to it, not really that bothering, but you can feel them if you type in slowly. Now the long pole, as usual, it gives that more faster and solid bottom out when typing. Paired with the 13mm springs, the switches are really satisfying, especially with long periods of typing. So it has a 62-gram bottom out force, which is not that heavy, just hits the spot, and a 3.3mm pre-travel, which is quite normal for a linear switch. I can say that for the feel, they are really good, and you can straight up use them out of the box. Now moving on to my thoughts for the sound. It sounded really creamy, marbly, and deep. In short, that word that you call thock. But it also has a little bit of pop to it, but very subtle. Personally, they sound really nice. It didn't sound all over the place. Again, really good job on the pre-factory lube. The switches didn't have that raw plastic feeling, and it really sounds decent, like someone lubricated them by hand. So again, really good stuff. Overall, I didn't really expect for this switch to be that good, especially that it's my first time trying out an Affleon switch and from Invokeys, but I can confidently say that their description is really true about the switches. It's a ready-to-use switches, like if you really don't have time in lubing and worried about how they might sound and feel on stock, I suggest considering this. Only problem that I see is that for me, is that they don't offer them in packs of 10. For me, I'm really an advocate in terms of trying out switches. So if you really want to sell your switches, you should always offer them like in packs of 10 or maybe a trial pack of switches from the list of switches that you are offering on your shop. And yeah, a pack of 70 switches will cost you around $45.58, which might be daunting for a beginner out there, but if you are already into the hobby, I can recommend checking this out. They feel and sound really good, especially if your preferred sound profile is deep and if you want a decently weighted linear switches. Again, it sounds nice, it feels nice. I expected less, but I was given more. And that is it for the video, guys. I know it's quite short, but I hope you all enjoyed my review on the Matcha Latte switches by Invokeys, and I hope you find it helpful, and if you do, please don't forget to hit the like button as it helps out my channel, and let's aim for the usual, the 50 likes. Again, thank you Invokeys for sending this over for a review. I'll be putting all of their links on the description down below. So what's next? Well, we'll be trying out Invokeys tactile switches next, as they claim that it's very close to the beloved MX Browns. So watch out for that. Again, please don't forget to hit the like button, share if you want, and of course, subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys on the next sound test. Peace.